Okay, so normally I don't do react videos, but there's a situation here with the game, Overwatch 2. And that is, the other day I was playing it. I actually seen it a couple times, but it was the third time I seen it that I started to, actually, it was second, third time, something like that I seen it, I started to get suspicious about it. So we were on Dubani, and we had to, basically the enemy team was pushing the cart, and we had to defend against it. And during the last point that they got to push the cart to win, that last checkpoint they got to make it to, all of a sudden the game starts to lag like fucking crazy. So I couldn't, there's nothing I could do. You try to heal your own teammate, shoot the enemy, it was just a complete shit show. So I typed in chat, I said, anybody else seeing this? Yeah, everybody else is seeing it. And yet, despite that, somehow the enemy team won the game. Almost like everybody was lagging, except for someone causing the lag. Now, this is something I've been hearing about now for the last couple of weeks, that there's a cheat out there now that can basically lag the game out like this and fucking get these guys wins and shit. So up until this point, I hadn't seen it, right? Normally, if you get a lag indicator, there's two icons here you're going to see. This is Samito. He's one of the main streamers for fucking Overwatch. The other guy I'm going to show here too is Flats. He's another big one. Where they get these cheaters in their games and stuff. And in the case of Samito here, the first video that I got up here right now, he gets the exact same thing that I seen on Nubani, where he's playing the game, it's not looking good for the enemy team, and then all of a sudden you'll see over here where my mouse cursor is, he starts to get the lag indicators from the server and also from the network connection going to the server. So you can see the two icons showing up. So we'll let this play now, and we'll comment on this as we're going on here. So you can see now he's got the indicators up here, lag indicators. I'll turn this down a bit.
Is that my internet or is that?
He's asking if it's his internet.
Is this my internet or are these the servers? The server's lagging.
Yeah.
Everybody on his team's experiencing that too. The lag.
I don't know what's happening, bro.
Adaptive circuits engaged.
He was thinking it was that Reaper that you seen there, the enemy Reaper that was causing it, but he's not. After playing a couple games with him, he wasn't sure. Although every other game he ran into on this stream with him, with the same Reaper, the Samito's team lost. So he might not have had to use it if it was him. Assuming this is some kind of cheat being used, right? Because you would think the lag would get so bad.
What the fuck is going on?
Yeah, he gets pretty fucking loud on his mic. You would think that the lag is so bad that nobody would be able to play the game. Like his whole team's fucked basically. They're all having the same problem.
Just hit us off and won the fight.
Objective lost. Stop the payload. Let's adapt.
And you can see that once these indicators start up here, the lag, they don't go away. You know, typical gameplay, you might see one or two of these just for a second and it disappears. But this is the whole match. From now on, you're going to see this up here.
Enemy tag. Repositioning.
I bet it's the Reaper.
He thinks it's a Reaper doing it.
I can't play like this.
Dude, like.
Like, my game was completely frozen. Like, I couldn't even... There was a little bit of movement at first, but then it just started to fucking freeze right up. He's checking now in chat if anybody's, everybody else is seeing the same lag shit.
I have a lot to think about.
Everybody on his team is for sure.
Dude, this kid actually turned on a lag switch. Dude, this is ridiculous. Like,
Everything's out of sync. You can't get shots. And notice they're still able to move the cart. Well, his team can't do shit. Lag indicators are back up there again in the corner, up here. Upper left.
Sweat.
He's got SK on his team. She's another big streamer for Overwatch too. And she's seen when they were in this game here, she's already seen this like 2 or 3 times today. The same situation with this this lag switching shit. If that's what it is.
So boring, dude.
Round 3. Complete. Score 3-6. Switching sides.
I was watching him later on in this same stream. This was streamed on Friday, on June 21st, 2024. And a couple hours into the stream after this, he sees it again. Happens again to him. And the fact I've seen this in my own game and not in the Nubani game, same thing, right? Lag was so bad our team couldn't do shit, but yet they could win. He reports the guy anyway. Which isn't a big deal. If the guy's not doing it and they know they can't prove it or whatever, nothing happens to him anyway. Same thing as a cheat. If you think someone's cheating, just report it. If there's fucking proof that he's cheating, they'll get nailed. If not, just gets ignored.
Someone needs to fill this saddle.
5.
And see, like he says, after they cap, then all of a sudden it stops.
1. Attack
But you
commences.
see, you still see it up here. It's still on the whole time. Still being flooded.
Time to show them who's boss.
Stay near my pylon. Stay close. I'm trying to help.
This is the current state of Overwatch, the shit.
Dude, he's actually hitting us off.
Enemy spotted. I'll be taking the objective.
Oh, they're frozen again.
Over there.
His shot's finally registered now, a couple seconds later.
Turning up the heat.
That's the same thing I've seen. Same type of shit.
Did we cap? I capped, I think.
The payload.
We did.
Let's rumble.
We don't get moving. We lose everything.
Eyes sharp this time.
Listen to the audio, it's all fucked up too because of it.
Escort the payload. 30 seconds remaining.
Lost. He's fucking shocked. I don't think he's ever seen this before.
Play of the game.
Yeah, this is a live service game, man. Those are putting tons of resources into this. They can probably afford 2 on their security team with an AI bot, ChatGPT. Maybe if Microsoft gives them some money, they'll get 3 people. He still doesn't know what to say.
What is happening? What?
So anyway, that's his response there. We'll pause that. And then we go from that shit show, which now seems to be like the fact that I've seen it, he's seen it, SK's seen it. Who knows? You know, I haven't watched any other big streamers or whatever, so I don't know how, if anybody else has noticed this too. Like, it could also be a problem with the game itself and not actually a cheater doing this, but it just seems odd that the timing of it is just when the team's about to lose, then all of a sudden this shit shows up, right? That's the odd thing about it. It's not like when you get into the map, it's lagging right from the time you get in there to the time you get out, and nobody can do shit on both teams, right? This seems to be one team's getting screwed while the other one, or at least somebody on the other team, can still function properly, right? So then you go from his experience here with this lag thing, and then we'll go over to what Flats now has covered a couple times now in the last couple weeks, is the actual cheaters in the game now that are using like hardcore hacks, right, to basically do aimbot, all that kind of shit. And that's what you're going to see right here. So the backstory to this one here is, this is Flats on YouTube. I'll put links to both of their channels in the description of this video. But in this video here, someone tipped him off to this video, and that's why he's checking it out. He's in the replay viewer. And what's interesting here is there's 2 hackers, one on each team, and they're trying to outdo each other. So this is, I'm not going to play the whole video here. I sped it up to where I think this is interesting to see here. But like you can see there from the timeline, it's 36 minutes long. It's a good video. Like there's hacking throughout. Both of these guys are both teeing off on each other with their hacks, right? Trying to kill each other. So it's kind of funny. Let's play this here and see how this how this plays out. This is how bad the game is. Like fucking, this is what blows my mind, that you're gonna turn around and pump out a game and then have enough fucking nuts to turn around and call it a live service game, and yet you have no answer to any of this shit. I think it's in this video here. It's in one of Flat's videos. It might be in this one, but you'll see something. Actually, I'm not sure. I'll see if I can find it in here. But they get the spin bot going, and when you're watching this, like the one time I seen Flats cover a video on this, like the actual guy he was covering was McCree. And the fucking character literally is spinning around so fast that it's almost spinning like a top. But yet it's walking in a proper direction. Like it's going down the road and turning the corners and all that shit. But the whole time it's spinning like fucking crazy, right? And with this cheat, they can basically just pop shit out of the air or whatever. Like just automatic fucking detect you, kill you right away, just keep moving, right? Apparently on the cheater screen, they don't see that. They see the game the way a normal player would see the game. They're not spinning around their screen at all. It's only when you see the replays, and what other players see on the server is this constant spinning motion. Now, what gets me about that is how the fuck is that not bannable right away? Like how does their backend infrastructure not pick something like that's not normal fucking character movement in the slightest, right? On top of that, you got Blizzard employees that are watching all, like Flats here, Emong, fucking J3, all these guys are like fucking Blizzard streamers. So they're all friendly with Blizzard and shit like that. And Blizzard employees watch these guys' streams, and they can clearly see these cheaters in these streams. Emong had a cheater in his stream for like a month, doing the same cheating shit over and over and over, and nothing ever was done about it. So Blizzard, there's no, you would think that with these guys here, with these big streamers, and especially the fact that they got connections to Blizzard and shit, that when these guys started saying, hey, there's something fishy here, that this would be looked into right away, and these guys would be banned right away, right? Like, you don't have to wait to detect the cheats. You can already see in plain view the guy's fucking cheating. Why isn't he banned immediately, right? And that's not happening. So anyway, let's get to this video here.
You can, and sitting there AFK, either typing or making some adjustments. I have a bad feeling I know what's coming. Let her rip. Let her rip.
Look at this.
My bite
Oh,
is fatal.
man.
This is the state of Overwatch.
What's it look like in third-person POV? Ah, yes. Totally normal and natural Widow gameplay going on here.
Look at this. Looking at the floor.
A totally normal and natural Widow gameplay going on.
She's getting kills when she does this.
They're not even spinning. They don't even need to. No spin needed. This is called the look at. This is called the look at the floor. The look at the floor cheat. You know they're tryharding too because they're doing this to hide their head hitbox.
On the payload. Anyone care to join me?
No one can hide from my sight.
Step right up.
Ultra Instinct.
Wait,
Widow.
hang on. So then, hang on. I wonder what happens here after they kill them. What happens to this guy? Because now they're full spin botting, right? Well, not spin botting, but like hardcore rage hacking. You know, like they're going.
This guy's hack. He's the other hacker in the enemy team.
They crank that thing as high as it could go. Gets him. Yeah, it's tough. It's gonna be tough because of the projectile versus hit scan when it's cranked up this high. But I mean, this should show you how scary it is, chat. Because in the beginning of the game, like, it was a little bit of susness, but some people were like, no, it doesn't look too bad yet. That's what cheating is now. And it's like, on a game-to-game basis, typically, they're not going to crank it up very high. They're going to keep it very slight. It's going to be a small adjustment. It's just going to be helping them along the entire...
And what he says there is important to fucking realize, too. That's why it's hard to detect. Like, the one good thing about this game is you get the replay viewer, and really, I would say really bad cheats are easily seen. Like, when someone's got perfect... I watched a friend, right? The guy's was a pro player, multiple rank 1, all that fucking shit. The guy doesn't have perfect... Like, he's got perfect tracking in terms of a human, like, the best a human can get. But even when you watch him, his fucking crosser isn't bolted onto somebody as they're fucking flying all over the place and all that kind of shit, right? There is some variance in what he's doing there. Yeah, when you watch these hackers, when they start turning shit up, like he talks about here, like Flance is talking about, you can see that it basically is perfect tracking. Like, it doesn't matter what the guy does, this crosser, man, just tracks them. Well, you can tell it's software, right? It's basically perfect tracking no matter what they do. And what makes it hard is that some of the good cheats will be able to basically randomize that and turn it down so that well, maybe you don't get, maybe every kill isn't suspicious, but enough of your kills are using the cheat that you actually win all your matches, right? So you don't have to like hardcore cheat and go crazy, because that's obviously noticeable, right? People start to pick up on that shit, you get reported the whole 9 yards. So just having slight cheats where it is only working part of the time and shit, especially if you got some idea about the game and how it works, that's the hard shit to detect. So we'll go back to this video here.
Time. The only reason it's gotten to this extreme is because it's become an ego battle between these two players where they're shit talking each other and they're calling each other shit and they're saying one's a better cheater than the other. Like,
well, and by the way, another aspect of something here too. Blizzard does not do hardware hashing ban. So even if these guys were detected right away and the accounts were banned, you get a new phone number, get a new Battle.net account, away you go, re-download the game, it's free to play. You're back in again, right? So it's almost like fucking, I don't know how Blizzard deals with this, because these guys that are making the hacks are making money off them, so there's incentive there to keep doing it. Blizzard, no doubt, is losing money, but it obviously is not enough money to get their attention. And they also don't talk about their, any kind of anti-hacks, how big their team is. Like, fucking, that's one thing about Blizzard, man. Even for a development team on the game, they don't specify. They don't ever come out and say, oh, yeah, we got 100 people working on this, and, we got 200 people on the anti-cheat team or cheat detection, whatever, right? There is none of that shit. So it's all a guessing game as to what they're actually doing, if they're doing anything at all. Blizzard's got this fucking theory that they do these bans in waves. So it might take 6 months. Well, when you hear people explain this, it's always with the explanation that the reason why they do that is they want to basically let the cheat makers get in, cheat in the game, update their program and all that shit, then get far enough down the updating fucking path of their programs that when Blizzard implements the ban, the actual guys creating the cheats don't know what part of their update might have got fucking picked up, right? So there's sort of like a Blizzard trying to hide what they're doing there by actually making these ban waves be as long as they are. My thing with that is like, look at antivirus, right? Imagine an antivirus that you get where it updates its fucking virus definitions. That's the signatures it uses to detect shit once a year. So if you got it and all of a sudden it updated, that's good for that year. Now, what about everything going forward? It doesn't detect shit. You have to wait till the end of the next year to get the next fucking big, huge definition update, signature update, and then it detects fucking anything that was that fucking previous year. So, and this is the stage that Blizzard's at, right? They're constantly behind the eight ball. What fucking blows my mind about this is that you're letting your game get shit on for months on end. Whether it's through your detection isn't working, or it's on vacation, or whatever the fuck's going on there. But even when you get these streamers that actually have ties to Blizzard and developers and shit, still nothing is being done. So like, how long do you think the game's going to survive this for, right? So you're going to do your next ban wave, say they do the next month. Then we're back to, okay, so that cleans the game up for a bit. Probably within a month, 2 months of that, we're right back to where we were before. I mean, Blizzard's had this approach with the whole cheat thing ever since fucking Overwatch was released. And to date, they haven't solved this problem. From 2016 to today, the same shit's still going on all the fucking time. You get the ban waves, cheaters get banned, they rejig their cheats, they start doing it again. And you start seeing this shit again, right? Where these guys here up in the higher ranks in the game, GM, Masters, top 500, all that shit, are now seeing these cheaters all the time. And remember one thing, if they're seeing them cheaters up there, them cheaters also existed down in lower ranks to get up to the higher ranks. So everybody has to put up with this shit. Anyway, we'll get back to fucking Flats here in this video.
that is the reason why we're now getting to see what this matchup looks like. We would not get to see this otherwise. And you would probably get gaslit for saying that they are cheating. Or, oh my Jesus fucking Christ, dude. We're cooked. This game is so fucking cooked, dude. What in the world? And they're getting damage boosted too. Oh my fucking goodness. Yep. And they're just gonna walk up to the Rhine, no fear, because they don't have game sense. They have zero game sense, negative game sense, even.
30 seconds.
Oh my goodness, dude. Oh my goodness. Okay, I gotta see the other guy's POV. He's on Soldier. I have a good feeling I know what's happening here.
Defend objective A.
Oh my fucking god, dude.
He's got perfect tracking too.
We're so cooked! Dude, we're so fucking cooked if the games are coming down to cheater v cheater, dude. We're so cooked. And the guy missed his Helix rocket.
And something he said there, cheater versus cheater, right? Some of these games today, people that generally wouldn't cheat are buying the fucking cheats. So that if someone cheats on them, right? If someone turns on the cheats and starts fucking them, they basically have a way to fuck them back. Think about that for a second. That's how bad, and I'm not talking about just this game. I mean, fucking, you're right across the board. Counter-Strike 2, I was going to check that out. What was it, last month? And the only thing I was seeing about that was it was just fucking, it was like a cancer, man. It was riddled with fucking cheaters and hackers and all kinds of shit. Like, nonstop. It didn't matter what fucking video I was watching or what creator that covered Counter-Strike. It was the same thing right across the board. I think Valve pushed out an update that sort of took care of some of that shit, but I still don't know what stage that's at. It still could be fucking really, really bad. They might have cleaned it up, but I think it's got the same problem as this game here in that they clean it up, but then the cheaters chirp their fucking software, their detection things to detect the Blizzard fucking anti-cheat and all that shit. Next thing you know, they're back in operation again. So yeah, I don't know how you go about solving this problem. There's one aspect of this I fucking sort of laugh about, and that is when you're on console, you always hear people talk about the PC master race, PC master race. Well, unfortunately, in this case, the master race is what's causing the issue, right? Like on console, the console's locked down. You can't fucking put a program on a PlayStation 4 unless it's been approved by Sony, right? They digitally sign all their shit. And their firmware, which keeps basically all that shit in order, if there's any exploits detected in that, they chirp the firmware. So they'll go to another version of the firmware, and then they make it so that if you want to fucking connect online, you have to have that latest firmware. There is no getting around that. If you just want to do single player and not actually connect online, that you could probably do. I know the same thing was going on with the homebrew stuff too for the, PlayStation 3. There was exploits found in that firmware, so they were able to actually start making software for it and shit. But if you connect that thing online and Sony downloaded the latest fucking firmware revision, that would immediately delete all that shit, and then the thing would be locked again. So in those cases, you didn't connect up online. Like once you had it exploited like that and you could run homebrew software, you didn't connect it back up to Sony servers at all for that reason. So to me, the console, from a cheater perspective, is like, unless anybody can comment on this that knows for sure that it's possible to hack on something like a PlayStation 4 when it's fully firmware updated and all that shit, if you know about that, put the comments in my video, man, so I can actually check this shit out. Because anytime I've ever looked into this, the consoles always seem bulletproof in this regard. I'm sure there's, you could probably get into cheating if you had something visually looking at the screen, or basically taking like an HDMI input, and then using, fucking bot software and shit, and then having some kind of interface to a controller. You could still basically have the controller input simulated through another computer. So you would have your console and then another computer doing the cheating and shit, or assisting you or whatever. That's an extremely complicated setup, right? Compared to a PC where you just turn around and go onto whatever shady website, download the hack and run it, and away you go. Like the barrier to entry for doing what I'm talking about on a console is way higher than what it is to cheat on PC. And that's the problem with PC. Is for as good as the PC is, high refresh rate monitors, really good fucking GPUs, really good CPUs, all kinds of RAM, fast SSDs. For as good as all that shit is, the one major problem is the hackers fucking rule the roost. And even when you get into things where you start talking about kernel level fucking anti-cheat, like what Valorant has and all that stuff, there's still cheaters even in that. Even with kernel level fucking anti-cheat. So, how do you fix that? It looks like at best you might be able to slow it down, and that's about it. And so then you got to ask yourself, do you want to play these games that are loaded up with fucking cheaters? I mean, it's wrecking Overwatch. You can see it. A lot of the guys who are in the top ranks don't even want to play the game. So, it is what it is, man. I don't know how they address this problem, if they even can. The console has the best shot at doing it because they've already been doing it, right? It's all locked down right from the fucking get-go. You can't run software on there. You can't run cheats. So, on the PC, though, it's all an open door. You can do whatever you want.
A fucking inanimate object. These are the players in our games. These are Masters players.
Master players.
And they're still damage boosted. They're so.
Now, the thing with what he's talking about there too, that's something that a lot of these creators will bitch about, is that when the enemy team has a cheater, or then the supports, so Mercy, whatever, right, are either healing them or damage boosting them and shit. And the big problem you get there is, well, how the fuck, like if I'm playing the game, and I play Mercy all the time, right? If a DPS on my team is, how do I know he's cheating? They can turn around and say he's cheating in the chat, but how do you really know? So then, well, okay, you want to do a draw? So now we're sitting here for half an hour, right? So that's why you probably don't see that happen very often. They just fucking, if the guy is cheating, report him. But you see, as Flats is talking about here now, it gets kind of annoying because you get supports that are backing these guys up and everything else, but whether or not the support actually knows he's cheating. Now, sometimes you get the situation where the cheater and the support know each other, friends or whatever, right? And they'll turn around, the cheater will run the fucking hacks, the support will make sure they don't die in case somebody hits them or whatever. And so, and that's a different situation, right? I'm talking about an actual fucking healer that doesn't even know the fucking people and they're just playing the match, right? So we'll get back to this here.
Bad! They're so fucking terrible, too! They're so terrible! Do you see that? By the way, remember earlier I talked about the whole melee thing? There's something with the melee, like it's either like an aim key or it does something. Cheaters always do this. They just melee at the weirdest, stupidest times, and this guy does it too. So there's something that's connected to the melee key. There's something, I don't know what it is, but it happens all the time. And it's like one of those things that sets me off when I see someone who looks a little sus and they start randomly meleeing at stupid moments. That makes me go like, hey, something's wrong there, you know? I don't actually know what it does. I don't know what the button is, but man, it's just, we're so cooked. Oh my G. Oh,
this is the
Jesus
McCree now.
Christ.
No. I hope they show the outside view of this. This is crazy. This is the one I'm talking about. How Blizzard, yeah, watch this here. Look at this. And he moves like that the whole time. He's spinning like that the whole time. Look at this shit.
Dude, what is this?
And remember, on his screen, he's not doing that. On his screen, he's standing there normally, just walking around like you would normally see in the game. How in the fuck does Blizzard servers not pick this shit up? It reminds me of the first fucking problem you seen there with the lag hacks and shit, if that's what that is. How do they not have telemetry on that when it's coming in to know that that's not normal fucking traffic? Like, you think that any type of game that was like a live service and they're fucking depending on people having a good experience, well, I guess Blizzard doesn't fucking probably think about that too much, but having a good experience playing the game, you wouldn't want that ruined. So you would think that you'd have the instrumentation to be able to pick up what is legitimate traffic, what's not, how to filter that shit out quickly. But yet, for whatever reason, Blizzard doesn't seem to be able to fucking do that. And you see videos like this. And by the way, it's not just him. It's not Flash just talking about this or Samito. I've seen fucking J3 talk about it. I've seen Emong talk about it. A whole bunch of the top streamers, man, over time. I've seen DeFran deal with fucking cheaters and shit. Like, this has been a constant fixture of the game ever since I've been watching videos on any kind of content creators doing shit for the game. Although I think it seems worse now than what it was in the past. And that maybe because Blizzard is not fucking... also keep in mind, too, Blizzard's had a lot of fucking cutbacks, man. You know, they got fucked in the ass when fucking Activision got them. They got left alone for a little while, a couple of years and shit. But then Activision come in and put the big foot down, and that was the end of that. Then you turn around, once Activision buys them, that's one problem. Then Microsoft now comes in. People thought that was Microsoft's going to be the big savior. Like, hey, dude, you're on fucking crack, man. Microsoft's fucked up a lot of shit in the history of that company that they've purchased. So I don't know why people thought that Microsoft was going to save them. But there could have been, and there was, Microsoft did do a bunch of layoffs shortly after that whole thing went through when they purchased fucking Activision Blizzard. So who knows what is actually the team now of Blizzard. It might actually be one person and a fucking AI bot sitting there. And that's their cheat detection team. So I don't know. Again, Blizzard doesn't come out and talk about any of this shit, so it leaves the fucking door for speculation wide open. And the fact that you can see this shit going on in game, it's not just speculation when you can actually see the shit happening in the game. I've reported cheaters in this game, and the fucking reports were acted on. Hasn't happened a lot, but it has happened several times, and several times I thought something was fishy, and I checked the replay viewer and shit, and I thought, okay, well, to me it looks like it's 90% there's something fishy going on here, and sure enough, the fucking reports come back that they took action. I don't tell you what they did, but at least they took action. So that means if I'm picking this shit up, these guys at the high range are picking it up, the high-level players. So it's going to be pretty much all through the game. Oh, and by the way, to touch on something else with this shit, everybody rages over the cheaters, but the smurfing thing is equally as bad, right? A cheater's basically got a fucking an unfair advantage against a normal player who doesn't have cheats because they got the software basically aiming for him and all that fucking shit. A smurf is the same thing. You get a high-level fucking smurf, GM player, fucking top 500, whatever, that's on a smurf account. Them guys got really good aim. They got really good game sense. They're really aware of the map, positioning, all that shit where they're on the map, the whole 9 yards. You look at someone like DeFran, right? That's, to me, is like a hack. Because you go against that guy, it's the same result. The guy fucking with the hack's going to kill your ass. DeFran's going to kill your ass. There's no difference. And yet smurfing seems to go under the radar, despite the fact it ruins shitloads of fucking games. DeFran himself, well, he just did a series there a couple months back now where he basically went through like half of the game roster and got them all up in the top 500. And at the beginning of that, he talks about that. He said fucking basically the fact that Blizzard's not going to ban it, that means he's going to keep doing it. He says that right in the fucking video. This is one of their fucking the top players in Overwatch saying that, hey, because Blizzard doesn't do nothing about the fucking Smurf problem, I'm going to milk it for the content, man. Cash in. And that's exactly, he says that right in the fucking video, and that's what he does. So if he's doing that, and you know Flats has got multiple accounts, you know Emog's got multiple accounts, you know fucking Samito's got multiple accounts, all these guys, man, Smurfs, they had to be fucking stopping all over people at some point. And yet that seems to go under the radar yet. The cheaters using the software is what pisses people off, when in fact, both equally should make you fucking irate. I don't want to face fucking DeFran in one of my matches when I'm down to fucking silver or gold. Ever. Right? And the other thing about that is, I don't want him on my team either. Because then the reverse is true, right? Then now your fucking team is smashing the other fucking team. They just don't even, like, they can't even get able to spawn. So I don't want to see that shit either. So they need to address both fucking problems. There needs to be hardware bans in place for both. You get caught fucking around, fuck you. We turn around and we'll brick your machine. Well, actually, ideally that'd be nice if they could do that, but you don't want that situation. But they could basically do a hardware hash on Blizzard's end and just make sure your machine doesn't connect up anymore, and that's it, right? Whether it's through IP, which is unreliable because they can fucking change all the time. The hardware in the machine, you got to do almost like a Microsoft activation, the way that works with the hardware fucking hashing and shit, where they look at several pieces of the machine to see if it's the same machine, and you can change like one thing out, but some shit has to remain the same. So you'd have to do the same thing for any kind of cheat detection. And then maybe when they finally start doing that, then they get rid of the phone number bullshit that they have on the Blizzard account, which obviously is the Battle.net accounts, which is bullshit. Because that whole phone number thing never solved anything anyway. In fact, when they first come out with that, that ended up causing fucking like Smooth, the one guy I play with, he had a problem because his phone provider was one of the ones on the Blizzard shit list. So he couldn't even do the authentication to get his fucking account going. And this is a hardcore motherfucking Blizzard fan. Bought all the skins, buys all the shit, likes all the fucking stuff they do, and this is the guy that you're fucking? Over your phone number bullshit. And meanwhile, someone like DeFran can go out, and I like DeFran, but it's the same thing, man. He goes out and he buys fucking, he goes out and gets these disposable phone numbers and has like fucking 100 accounts under his name. Right? It's fucked. So they need to, you can't just solve one problem here. You got to solve both. Smurf problem and the cheater problem. And they both have to be addressed in almost the same regard. Right? Now, on the Smurf problem, there's another problem on top of that, and that is when you start getting into the higher ranks of the game, it's boring as fuck because the queue times are so long. Like when you only got, and I don't even know what the fuck the numbers here, but let's take a guess, right? If gold and silver, say, have 1 million players, you might have 1,000 at the top 500 level. So it means the queue times for the lower ranks, gold and silver, are going to be fairly decent. But at the higher end, that's still top 500, all that shit, you might be sitting there waiting an hour to get a match. So, and I don't know how Blizzard addresses that, right? Because that's another big thing which causes the Smurf accounts, is that people just get sick of that shit, and they say, fuck it. Make a new account, even if it is smurfing, even if I am stomping on the fucking noobs and shit, at least I get to play the game, instead of sitting there looking at a queue time. So I don't know how the fuck they address that. That's a big one. That's a big problem. But the smurfing thing and the cheater thing have to be dealt with in the same regard. Anyway, back to Flats, we'll get to see the McCree here do his Tasmanian Devil imitation.
The ego battle!
This shit.
Dude, they're both upping the ante. Every time someone dies, they come out with a slightly stronger cheats.
They're going to 11.
Now
Bye.
we've upgraded to Beyblade, spin bot, aim cheating, aim locking, Cassidy going boom, boom, boom,
This is
boom, boom,
AAA
boom,
gameplay
boom, boom,
right
boom,
here.
boom. And they get smoked on because they don't
Diva,
understand
yeah.
how a Diva defense matrix works because they're so ass, and then they're fighting against the other guy cheater who is getting helped because they got the Diva and he stands near the Diva, and the Diva, they don't even know if they're standing near the Diva just happens to be there helping him, and then boom, 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 and it's like he doesn't even get the final shots, it's someone else, but then this guy's also rage hacking that dude. Like, what is this?
Flats is gonna have a heart attack.
What is happening to the game I loved?
Oh, it's gone down the
What
toilet,
happened
man.
to the game I loved?
Circling the ball. It's like a big turd.
Oh, here it comes!
Look at this.
Let it rip!
Look at this fucking shit. And then he actually he goes back to normal for a second, now back into spin. So he's obviously got it so he can toggle it on and off.
Whee!
Enemy turret.
Whee!
Oh, this shit.
Oh, shots again. Whee! 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 On his screen, he's not spinning, though. That's the thing. You say, like, how do you play like this? On their screen, they're not spinning.
Yeah, it's normal.
Whee! Oh, hang on. Hang on. Where's the other guy? He's about to be back from spawn, I think. Oh, hang on. This guy's been back, actually. Sorry. I must have missed a little bit of a POV here. Actually, hold on. I think there's even a little bit of that fight I could watch. Oh, yeah. Hang on. The beginning of this fight, watching the guy spin up. Okay, cheater v cheater. Who's got the cheater battle? Why? Okay, well, you know, again, he's shooting at the Rhine. He's trying to look for the cast, but he just can't hit him because there's too many targets to fucking lock onto. And then he gets distracted, and then he dies. And so, okay, here comes cheater number 2, coming back. Shooting the reflect. Yeah, runs out of bullets. Absolutely worst hinder I've ever goddamn seen. Oh my god, fucking hell, dude. Doesn't care that they're just vibing, having a good time. Oh, here comes. Whee! Yeah, here he comes. Here he came again, dude. Whee! 2 taps him off the fucking whee!
Okay, so anyway, I think I'll pause it there. So anyway, you get the idea. And that's the state of the game that we're in right now. What a fucking clusterfuck, man. Like, if there's a reason for console, this is it right here. Although console has its own problem, right? You can't get the high refresh rates. They don't really push high frame rates. Like, when I'm playing, most of the time I see like fucking 400 to 500 frames a second on a monitor that can do 240 hertz. So if console could solve that problem and allow a fucking mouse and keyboard, that would be another big thing. Then there'd be no, I don't think there'd be a reason to have a fucking, at least for gaming, I don't think there'd be a reason to have a fucking PC, because this bullshit here, this seems to infest every game, every PC game. It's not the PC is bad, but it's so open from a development standpoint, from programmer standpoint, that this is, shit's been going on for years and years and years, and here we are today, and it's still going on. And they're no fucking closer to solving this problem, right? So anyway, I think I'm going to wrap this up. This is the current state of Overwatch in June 22nd, 2024. Hopefully this improves, at some point. We'll see if that actually happens or not. So I'll see you in the next one. Take it easy.